قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Viewers at home, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you to another episode of Nasfat Half Hour. And today, inshallah, we are looking at quotes of leadership. And to do justice to this very important topic, we all know the importance of leadership to all of us. Is Brother Abdulrazak Adekoya is challenged with sight, but in contrast to what we used to know that there is ability in disability. Brother Abdulrazak Adekoya is the Public Awareness and Communications Manager of a USAID project in Nigeria, strengthening advocacy and civic engagement. Join me in welcoming my brother to this program today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I say a big salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to viewers at home as well.
I am your anchor on this program. Usman Animasham is my name. And inshallah, for the next 20 or thereabout minutes, I will be interacting with our brother who will be enlightening us on this very important issue of leadership. And then, Brother Abdulrazak, I want us to start by looking at leadership. What is it all about?
Basically, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. When we talk about the word leadership, I think there is this perception for many people. There is a perception of seeing anyone who is called a leader, someone who is big, giant, someone who is always at the ahead of people, someone who is always controlling, someone who is always in charge. But otherwise, I think leadership has been redefined. Leadership is not about how big you are. It's not longer about how big your stature. It's not longer about your certificate from school. And it's not longer about you being at the front or being ahead of people. Today, leadership has been redefined, and it does not have one fixed rule. Basically, it's just about assigning responsibility and managing people, ability to take people to the task, ability for you to control or manage a group of people for a particular objective. So if I'm a leader now, it's not a must that I have to be the one to define whatever everybody's going to do. Basically, it's going to be as a result of we sharing responsibility, we sharing tasks among ourselves for a particular objective, for a particular purpose. So for me, I always tell people that leadership is not about affluence. It's about influencing. It's not about title. It's not about your status, but your service. It's not about the title, but the task. So basically, for me, I see leadership as ability for you to manage the resources of people around you, ability for you to coordinate the people you are working with for you to achieve an objective. So if I'm a governor today, it's not about me imposing, rather I would rather influence my own opinion to them. I rather allow other people's opinion as well to count. So if I'm a leader today, it's not about me being able to say this is what we have to do. It's about saying how can we do this for us to get it done together. If I'm the leader today, it's not about me saying I, but rather I'll make it we, because whatever we achieve is not longer me as a person, but as a whole, as a theme. So if I'm the leader again for today, it's not longer about we saying, you know what happened, this is the authority. No, it's about the responsibility we share. So leadership has been redefined. In fact, today, leaders are not longer in the front to direct things. It can be from the behind. You can stay from behind and lead. For me, in fact, that's one of the best of leadership characteristics I love, leading from behind and letting people to take charge of what they want to be or what they want to do for themselves.
That's a very good one. Thank you very much. You want us to look at what are the prerequisites of good leadership. You mentioned the characteristics. One of them was you mentioned about, we talked about leading from behind. Can you also let us look at what are the prerequisites of good leadership?
The first and foremost that I always tell people is that for you to be a leader, if not all, at least, let's take it from the fact that you have to have the listening ear. Ability to listen to people is very, very important. And not just about listening, ability to as well give people opportunity to hear their opinions and their views. Now, when you don't give people opportunity to listen, you don't give opportunity to listen to people or a chance for you to hear them. Perhaps, in fact, it's not just even about leader for me as a person. Most of the time, every one of us, we don't open our ear to listen. We only hear, we don't listen. And you don't let people to say what they want to say completely. You already said, okay, I've heard you. So it's a challenge, it's a problem. So the first thing, if you want to be a leader, you have to take your time to listen to people. Number two, you need to understand who are the people you're working with. You need to understand what their challenges are. You need to understand what are the resources they have. You need to understand what are the skills they've actually been endowed with. Because sometimes we underutilize what we have because we don't know, not that because we don't want to use them. So if I have someone who works with me in the team and I'm the leader, I'm given opportunity to lead. If I don't know what the person can do, there's more than reasons for me to underutilize the person because I don't know what the person is capable of doing. And most times it's as a result of we not doing enough research to understand who are the people, or even sometimes understanding the challenge that we are about to solve as a leader. Another thing that we need to understand about a leader is that if you are a leader, I think you need to understand that you have to acquire a lot of skills for yourself. Because sometimes you will get up to a particular point whereby a team member is not there. And I always tell people that leadership is about complementing one another's efforts. You know, you have people who work with you. Basically, he can do this, I can do this, you can do that. And it's about assigning responsibilities and tasks to one another. So you need to acquire skills as well. Number four that you need to understand, leadership is not just about doing one thing one time and stop. It's about the consistency in your doing. It's about the consistency in acquiring. It's about the consistency of what you can deliver and what you can give to people as deliverables. So leadership is not just about you taking the title and you standing. It encompasses a couple of things. But like I said, you start from that word, listening. If you can listen, not just to what people are saying. I have that ability for me as a person. When I listen to you, I listen to what you are saying and what you are not saying. The other thing you're not saying are your emotions, your behavior, your attitude. I could be able to study and be able to get it. I need to respect people as well. I tell people that everyone is a leader. It's not about the person, because I believe a follower is as well as a leader, as much as we are all contributing to achieve a task.
يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن.
Fountain University, Osogbo, the University of the National Al-Fati Society, Nasfat, offers qualitative undergraduate and postgraduate education with courses in the College of Management and Social Sciences, as well as the College of Natural and Applied Sciences. Fountain University, Osogbo, is a faith-based character-building institution with fully accredited courses and international exchange program with ultra-modern science laboratories and well-equipped mass communication studio complex. Fountain prides itself as a pace-setting university in exposing students to professional best practices. Our graduates have excelled in their various careers and won prestigious presidential scholarship awards. Fountain University also runs part-time and professional programs. Admission is on for applicants through UTME and direct entry. Visit our website or call. Fountain University Osogbo, faith, knowledge and service.
We like you to also look at the challenges of leadership. We've talked about a lot of things now, but it seems that there is a lot of responsibilities put on the head of someone who is a leader. And it's quite challenging. So let's
No. Basically, we need to look at it from this perspective, from this angle. You need to understand that the responsibility of a leader majorly sometimes it has to do with you coordinating. You know, sometimes if you're a leader, I always tell people leadership is not, no one is born to be it. You can acquire the trait of that skills of leadership. Now, when you talk about the fact that what are the challenges of a leader, a lot of challenges will come. And those are the issues when it comes to decision making. In fact, one of the biggest challenge for leaders sometimes is decision. Because you have myriads of opinion. This one say this, this one say that. Then you have to look at the pros and the cons. Okay, if we take this opinion and decide to use on this, what is the outcome it's going to give to us? And that's why most time I always tell people that you don't make decisions alone as a leader. The truth is, if it fails, most time it is you as a leader that it would to bounce on. But one thing you should understand is, if that decision is a collective decision, at least the largest of people will say that we both take the decision together. We all take the decision together. But if you're the one who take the decision alone, then you should understand the fact that if it fails, people will say, after all, it's Oga that did it now. It's not me. It's Oga that took the decision. But when you have a collective decision and everybody decided to take that action, then if it fails, you all come together as well and say, what's the solution around it? So the first challenge for most leaders sometimes is ability to articulate people's opinion and for them to do it. That's number one. Number two, which is another problem of, which is a challenge for most leaders today. There's this challenge in terms of when you are given opportunity to lead, then you don't have a clarity of vision. I do tell people that there are three things you need to understand if you are leading: clarity of vision, transparency of your initiative, and ability for you to communicate persuasively. If you can have clarity of vision, what do we want to achieve? What is our goal? What is that main thing that we want to get together? Number two, transparency in what you are doing. Because you are the boss does not mean you should not be transparent. Let everybody see this is what's coming. In fact, sometimes if you are the head of organization and you're owing your staff, sometimes your staff might still decide to wait. If you can be transparent with them, this is what is coming in, this is what is going out. In our mosques today, in our churches today, we have issues whereby transparency is not fair. And last but not the least is communication. When you don't bridge that gap of communication, you see rumor mongering. He says that, he says this. But when you have or you give room for communication, you have this channel of communication being very, very effective, and you don't make it to the fact that the gate man cannot even talk to you, the boss. You don't make it in a situation whereby the so-called person cannot talk to you. You felt, no, what's my own problem? In fact, sometimes I do tell people that even when you have system in place, when you have that, maybe you have the gate man who report to the chief security officer, that doesn't mean you can't walk up to the gate man and say hello to him and talk to him and let him feel that sense of purpose. Recently, the owner of Facebook was saying something, that there should be sense of purpose in every job we create in the society. And for leaders today, I think it's a big challenge. We don't let people who work with us, people who are our followers, people who are part of our team, to have sense of purpose, that sense of ownership. We all own it together in quantity one. It's all ours together. You give them that sense that it's mine, and whatever you do, it's mine as well. But when you give them that sense of purpose as well, it also matters. So these are issues that when it comes to leadership, challenges that leaders face. It's more of behavioral. It's not more of IQ or the intellect. Most of the challenges of leaders today has to do with behavioral problems.
Thank you, Brother Abdurazak Adekoya. You talked about transparency, and I think maybe you want to shed more light on this issue of transparency, because I want to see it as something very, very key and important in relationship between the leadership and the followership. And then also the challenges between the debate over the issue of leadership and followership. I want you to comment on that.
Okay, this has to do when it comes to transparency. Sometimes I said the word AI and T sometimes is key. You cannot be transparent if you don't have accountability. That's the A. Because if you say you want to be transparent, then you have to be accountable to some extent.
Sure.
And if you're not accountable, accountability does not have to do with the way money is being spent. It has to do with, this is why we did this, and this is how we got this. You have to be accountable for every actions and steps you take. That's number one that you need to understand. Number two is inclusion. It's very, very key. Oftentimes when we say we are doing transparency in our organization as a leader, we are transparent to people, you are only transparent to few people, not everybody. So when you segregate one or you exclude some certain set of people, your transparency cannot be completed. That's not going to work. So if you said you want to be transparent as a person, as a leader, one, you need to understand that accountability is key, and number two, you need to understand the fact that inclusion is also very, very important. So those are the challenges when it comes to transparency. People are only transparent to few people, and on the other way, they are not willing to be accountable in totality. You need to get it right that when you talk about transparency as well, it has to do with system. We are working in a society today whereby leaders are not working with system. In fact, there are some situations whereby a leader of organization cannot leave the organization for just 2-3 months. He's so scared that something is going to be wrong. The reason is the way he's doing it, he's not willing for other people to know. And I always tell people that transparency is not just even about that. Again, you need to, if you are being transparent, you need to build the capacity of your followers. Because if they don't know how you do it, if you are not there, they can't do anything. So what that means is that if you leave that organization for just 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 1 month, on the other way around, the challenge is going to be the fact that nothing is going to happen. But if you are open, this is how it's done, this is how it's done. So if I leave that organization for 2 weeks, if I leave that organization for 3 weeks, that means definitely somebody else can pick it up and can do it well, effectively and efficiently.
Thank you for that detailed explanation on the challenges of leadership. Now, I want also to look at the benefits of good leadership. When we have a good leadership in place, what benefits do we gain there?
Basically, the main thing is when you have a good leader in place, the first thing is that the mission and the vision of your team or that organization you will get it easily. I mean, you'll be able to achieve it conveniently. Because when you have good leaders and there's clarity of vision in whatever you are doing, everybody understands it's our own responsibility, then you will be able to take, like the normal popular word, that you take that vision to a promised land. That's number one that you need to understand when it comes to the benefits of good leadership. Another thing when it comes to benefits of good leadership is that when you have a good leader, it builds the capacity of the followers. So what that means is that we have a kind of a transformation whereby one person is going and that person who is going to take it up is there. We have found ourselves in a situation today whereby a leader is leaving a team and they have to start looking for someone else outside that team to come and be the leader of that team. If you look at that very well, you understand that definitely that leader has not built the capacity of the followers. If that leader has built the capacity of such followers, it will be so easy for another set of people to take it up and for another set of people to be able to do that. So that's another thing. Another thing, when you see a good leader in an organization in which it's very, very common, you see this level of humility between one another. You see this level of commitment between the people who are working. You see this level of dedication, commitment, passion for people who are working in that particular sector. But when you don't have good leaders, you see this nonchalant attitude. People are not committed. People are not dedicated. They don't have the passion and the zeal to do it. They don't have the sense of purpose. And those are part of the things you have. But when you have good leaders, then you see things working out. Ability for you to achieve your vision and it will be so easy because the mission which is guiding you to achieve the mission, they understood it and they are able to transfer it into actions. But sometimes there's a big difference between you having it in paper and translating it into actions. But when you have people where you have good leaders who have been able to sit everybody down, this is what we want and this is what we want to achieve. How do we achieve it? Who will take it up? Without you, me, I can't exist. So if you have that sense of togetherness, that sense of communication, then it actually works very, very well. And that doesn't work if there is no system in place and if there is no effective communication between the leaders and the followers.
Now, you talked about redefining leadership, not just people on the top there in front and so on and so forth, but leadership can also come from the rear. So I want us to bring it down home to Nigeria, for instance. We are quick in blaming our leaders. They are doing this, they are not doing this. But those of us that we are followers, talking about this redefinition of leadership, what do you want to, what will be your comment in terms of this redefinition of leadership?
Okay, I started clearly by saying that we all grew up to see someone who is a leader, someone who is always in front, someone who is always ahead, someone who is big, giant, someone who is in charge, control. Now, that's the first thing, and the reason I did that was to disabuse our mind about who a true leader is. Yeah. Now, when we talk about the fact that we as an individual, as the citizens of country, I think we all have a critical role to play. We understood the fact that a family is the microcosm of the society or even the nation. That's the unit where it starts from. But if you ask yourself, you see your father saying, this is the way I want it, and that is the final word. Nobody can change it. Not saying, this is the way I want it, or what's your opinion about it. So you as a father, what are you doing in terms of your own leadership from home? Because the trait I see from that father means that as a child, if I grew up as well, when I talk and my kid does not have any right or any reasons to disabuse what I said or to go against my wishes or my commands, this is the way I want it. That's one. So when we talk about leaders, we also have our own role to play in the society. We have a father whereby he's taking alcohol, he drinks, and the child said, Daddy, I don't like it. Mommy said, the wife said, no, husband, I don't like this. And he said, what is your own concern? So definitely you understood the fact that what that man is saying, if you take it to the electoral system, what that man is saying, even if the whole people said, if the whole electorate said they are not voting for him, he will still find a way to do such. Because what that means is, against 3 or 4, you still want your own wish to still play out. So these are issues for us in the society as an individual. We all have our role to play. Leadership is not just about the governor, the councillor, the chairman. Sometimes we also need to challenge them. We also need to ask them critical questions. Because I've come to realize that everything we achieve in life is as a result of asking critical questions and getting the right answers. The clearer the questions are, the better the answers we could get. So we have the right as a citizens to play the right role within our own system, in our mosque, in our organization, because we have leaders today whereby whatever they say is no. Because they are ustads does not mean we can't ask them the right questions. It is our duty to ask. I always tell people that it is your right to ask legitimate questions. And it is the right of a leader to provide legitimate answers as well. So as a citizens, we also have our own role to play. For me, I always tell people it's not about what the country would offer you. It's not about what the governor would do. Do something on your own. Start that sense of leadership from your house. Even that last child of yours, that last born of yours, is a leader as much as you let his or her own opinion to be heard at home. But if you shun that person from talking, what you've actually tell the person is shut up, and you are already killing that spirit from that particular person. So those are just the little things we need to really understand when it comes to leadership. It's about giving other people responsibility, giving other people ability to speak, and letting other people to understand the fact that they can be what they want to be, as much as we all come together and we all come to decide over it.
Yeah, we quickly want you to look at specifically what are these codes of leadership.
Okay, there are just 5 for me. I think the first one is the code of presence. If you're a leader, you need to understand what are the things you have as the knowledge of presence around you. That's number 1. Number 2 is that word value. How do you value those people around you? How do you value the knowledge you have? How do you value those certain? Do you yourself even have a value? Do you have a sense of value? Because oftentimes if I tell people, tell me 5 things you value most. What are your core values? As an organization, what are your core values? People don't even have core values. They believe core values are meant for organization. And as an individual, you need to have a sense of value for yourself, a core value for yourself as well. Number 3 has to do with the code of relevance. How relevant are you? How relevant are those people you are working with to that overall objective you want to achieve? How relevant is that knowledge you are acquiring for yourself? How relevant is that thing that you are doing? As the leader in that organization, how relevant do you see your followers? They are very, very important for us to understand. Number 4, when we talk about the codes of leadership, is consistency. That code of consistency. If I do this, can I be consistent with it? Why are you starting what you cannot finish? It's very, very important. Number 5 is the knowledge of choice. And that's where decision comes in. You need to understand that whatever you do, there's this knowledge of choice. You have the power and the ability to take it up by yourself. If you're a leader, you need to understand that the choice is yours. It's your choice to do some certain things. And if you fail to do them, you get the consequences. For every choice, there's a consequence behind it. So as a leader, you need to get it. So let me summarize this. The first one is the code of presence, which has to do with the knowledge of people around you, your environment. In fact, when we talk about people as a leader, I always tell leaders that for anything you want to do, it's better you do a situational analysis. What are the things around you? What are the challenges of people around you? Why do you want to carry out that task? Why do you want to do that objective? Why do you want to go into that project? Why do you want to go into that business? What's that situation of it around you? There's the second one is the code of value. What's that core value you want to solve? What's the core value for yourself, your organization, your team? What's it? The knowledge of relevance, which is a third code. The fourth one is a code of consistency. And the fifth one, which is last but not the least, is that knowledge of choice, that code of choice. You have the power to be defined. And I always tell people, learn to negotiate and don't think everything will come as a result of what you deserve. So as a leader, you need to negotiate for what you want. Between you and your team, you need to negotiate together. Between you and the followers, sit down and negotiate together. Don't take it alone. And I surely believe we can always get it.
Given what we have learned today, we'll be able to see that just as I said at the introduction, there is productivity in disability. But Abrazak has been able to enlighten us more about the codes of leadership, and he has given us 5. Thank him very much for featuring as our guest on this program today. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will continue to be with you and also continue to reward you abundantly.
Amen.
Viewers at home, it's on this note that we want to draw the curtain on this program today, Nasfat Half Hour. I am Uthman Animasham, your anchor. Until we meet next time on another episode of Nasfat Hour, I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.